How's it going, everybody? D-Stosh here, and yeah, I'm a little late to the party on the whole Joseph Staten returning thing, but I still have some thoughts to talk about, and I would just like to convey them all to you and just talk about what Joseph Staten returning means for Halo Infinite and the Halo franchise at large, and what it means for the release date. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, first up, I think Joseph Staten returning is a huge boost to my confidence in this game. Joseph Staten basically led the franchise for the first 3 games, and he was a huge creative influence at Bungie. And I think that he could bring some amazing ideas. I mean, even what he did with Destiny, a lot of the pre-release stuff for Destiny looked really interesting, and he was responsible for a lot of that. And it wasn't until Activision kind of got their claws on it and kind of ripped it apart so they could monetize it more, where Destiny kind of became a joke for a while. It's pretty good now, actually, and I'm pretty excited for the next DLC. But, anyways, let's move away from that. So I have pretty good confidence in Joseph Staten, and he's returning as the campaign project lead, so he's going to have some major influence there. Now, a lot of people are saying that he won't influence the game that much because it's basically finished and the game should be coming out reasonably soon, even with the delay, but I kind of have a differing opinion. I think that I feel like with this delay, Microsoft really wants to revamp this game. This game, I think, may look completely different by the time we actually see it at launch. If you remember, like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, a lot of people did not like the art style of that game, and they actually completely changed the assault rifle, the way Master Chief looked, and I think they may do the same thing here. Not with Master Chief, of course, because, I mean, he's a butter biscuit, he's beautiful. But the assault rifle, definitely going to change that probably, and they're probably going to try to implement more classic stuff. Like, I think that they might just implement the classic shotgun and maybe the pistol. That's what I'm hoping for, but, even if they don't, I'm fine. My main issue is the graphics and maybe some underlying issues we're not aware of. But the thing that I have to say about Joseph Staten returning is that I think this means that Halo Infinite is not going to come out first quarter next year. I think that Halo Infinite may actually be delayed an entire year. I mean, think about it. They took a new project lead and they're putting him in 343. And the game was supposed to come out this holiday, and they're changing, project lead. So to me, that means that they may be revamping this game and rethinking some aspects of it. I'm not sure what it is, but yes, if they're going to have a new project lead, this is not a short-term thing. I think this is going to be a long-term thing for at least a year. And yeah, it's kind of sad to know that Halo Infinite may not come out for, another year. But if they need to take the time, they need to take the time, and they need to put out the best game they can. A lot of people say, hey, they already got 5 years, just put the damn game out. But to me, they probably weren't working on this game for 5 years. I mean, they had to redo stuff because of, Halo 5 and people not liking that plot. They had to make a new engine, so, maybe it's more around 3 or maybe even 2 years that they've been working on this game properly. So, I think that, yeah, we should get a year-long delay, and let's have Joseph get in there and really show his talent. I mean, not just have him be a support for the studio, let him be a part of the studio and really bring his vision to the game. I know 343 already has their vision, and yes, of course, they should try to retain it, but what I'm seeing on screen right now, this is not a system seller, and that's what Halo needs to be at this point, because Microsoft, they're doing fine. They have plenty of avenues for revenue, but Xbox is what I'm worried about, and not even the Xbox service. I think things like Game Pass are doing fine. They're a great part of the industry, and I hope Microsoft continues them. But in terms of actual console sales, it is very underwhelming, and I think a big reason for that is Halo's kind of sickness. It's had, this kind of downturn in the last, 7 years. So they need to really get Halo Infinite up into the system seller. I mean, I'm talking, make it look as good as, that new Ratchet & Clank game. I mean, that game looks amazing, and it's taking advantage of all of the PlayStation 5's abilities, We need that for Xbox, and it should be Halo Infinite. Halo Infinite, you know, is going to be cross-gen. It's going to be working on the Xbox One. And initially I thought, yeah, that's the main thing holding it back. But we have other cross-gen games that look great, like Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I think those graphics look fine, and that's obviously going to be last gen. I don't know if there's a big issue with the scalability of the engine, but they need to make it more scalable, and they need to make it look good. I still think this game could come out on Xbox One. It's not going to look nowhere near as good on that console, but I think it's possible. But on the Xbox Series X, this thing needs to blow my mind. And perhaps, I know that it's going to have crossplay and stuff, but maybe drop that. If you're not going to drop the Xbox One, drop crossplay, just so that when you're playing Halo Infinite on the Series X, you get the benefits of load times and things like that. And so, yes, there's going to be a separation of, you know, Halo Infinite on Series X and Halo Infinite on Xbox One, and we're going to have to separate those player bases, but Series X Halo Infinite should have the benefits of Series X. And, you know, it's a shame that Xbox One would be left behind in that scenario, but I think it's necessary. But anyways, this was D-Stosh, just kind of a rant video, and I just wanted to get some of this out there. What do you think on this whole predicament with Joseph Staten coming back? Are you happy? Are you kind of hesitant of his return? Do you want Halo Infinite to come out this holiday, or are you happy with the delay? I'd love to see your thoughts in the comments. And anyways, this was D-Stosh, and I'll see you in the next one. D-Stosh out.